Chip, kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In the glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Running through these little streets all day. Showing love, that's the A-Town way. That's the A-Town way. Smoking blunts with my peeps all day. Bitches young in WA. In WA. From 5 to 6, just a piece of your day. Come and chill with your boy NK. Me and my crew sending news your way. From east to west, north to south, we in the streets all day. From high topics to gossip to high news. He got people out here blessing him, yeah, he high too. The gang chose me and yeah, I do. Used to be.
What's happening, ATL? We back in here again. This your boy Notorious K. We're back on another glorious day right here in the A. I am, for those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm a up and coming rapper here in Atlanta from the ATL. For all my music, you can find me on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, any of those platforms. My Instagram, you can find me at Notorious Kill, or Facebook at Notorious with an R, N-O-R, and you know the rest. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna pass it over to my beautiful, lovely co-host. Let her introduce herself.
What's up, ATL? This your girl, Sean Denise. You can find me at everything Sean Denise, and all of my handles are there for all of the various things that I do. And let's get right over to our special guest.
And my first guest, my special guest of the day, she needs no introduction. You know, she's my creator, she's my heart, she's my love. She's none other than my mom, Dukes. Mom, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Simone Walters.
Well, girl, you ain't have to let them know your whole name. I was just playing, but look, we just do that. We just, that's just how we play, y'all. But for everybody that know her, you know, yes, she is my mom. She goes by the name of Mona. And I brought her here today so that you guys can get to know her, and we're gonna kick right into it. First thing I want to talk about, breaking news. The remains, one of 2 businessmen from East Point, Jason Slater, has been confirmed out of the 2 remains that were found in the on the farm in Chattahoochee, off the Chattahoochee farm. And I really just want to cover this real quick because of the simple fact. I really was bothered by this situation. The second body has not been confirmed. First off, let me just say that. But I was really bothered by this situation because, like I said, I've come in contact with them on Campbellton Road, and they were great guys. So I can't really think of anybody that will want to do that to them. And my heart goes out to their family. You know, like they've literally been looking for these guys for 2 months. And,
right.
You know, these people, they got kids. They got wives, you know, like I actually follow, I think, Jason, I follow Kenny. I follow his fiance or his wife, if I'm not mistaken, and I've been following the progress, and I know she's been mourning, so my heart definitely goes out to that family. What do you ladies think about that?
Yes, same here. It's so sad, and like you said, I actually follow a lot of people that know them or have come in contact with them, and everybody have had nothing but great things to say. And it is a very sad situation, that situation, and all of the killings going on here in the city.
I definitely feel like we need answers. I speak on behalf of the families, you know, from my people to yours. We definitely need answers on this, you know.
If you know something, say something.
You know, like, I know we live in a day and age where it's like, oh, snitches get stitches, but at the end of the day, this is somebody's father, this is somebody's husband.
Put yourself in that
put yourself in their shoes. Like, these people are hurting right now.
Exactly.
Which brings me to my next situation. The young man, his mother was killed on Fairburn Road. I'm not sure what's the name of those apartments. It's those apartments that the apartment's on Fairburn Road behind the Planet Fitness on MLK. It was reported last week. The boy, he walked into the home. He walked into his house and he found his mom in the closet. Yeah,
she was in the closet.
Yeah, I would have guessed he found her in the closet. He when he walked in, he followed the blood trails and it led to led to in the closet. The police are still actually actively looking for the suspect in that case. So if anybody have any tips, if anybody have any like information, knowledge, or anything on that, please reach out to the police, because this is crazy. Like,
do they have any suspects? Like,
no, they don't have any suspects. They're coming up with different possible types of motives, but they really don't have.
Most of the time,
nowhere to start.
Instances like that is somebody close.
They did say that they kind of feel like it's behind an ongoing feud that had taken place. They really haven't went too in depth on that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into it.
She gotta know something. She gotta know that person who did it.
Yeah.
So, my next thing, what do you guys think about the lady on the news? I'm not sure if you guys have heard about that, but a woman, she recalls her encounter where she was almost attacked at knife point by a individual, by a male at Grant Park, like on last week. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I didn't see
that one. I've been so out of the loop.
Yeah, it was so much stuff that happened.
You usually send me the clips.
It was so much. It's like
too many people being that.
It literally was so much that happened last week while we was canceled, till it was just like crazy. I was trying to figure out like how we was gonna cover it all, but the young lady, she said that she was walking through Grant Park, and out of nowhere, a guy just came running at her. She noticed the guy running up at her with the knife at knife point, like he was gonna stab her. And she asked him, "Hey," she yelled out, "Hey, what are you doing?" And when he noticed that there was another bystander walking past, he ended up running in the opposite direction. But she said that she was definitely left terrified, and I don't blame her, because it's just like you don't really know what these people's intentions are nowadays. Like. He could have very well killed her,
Right.
They crazy.
Because the mental illness is like another big thing. You have so many people walking around just won't take their meds or won't get help and just be out of their mind.
Because I used to catch the bus, and every time I sit on the bus, it always be a crazy person that nuts up on me. I'm like, it's a lot of chairs over here. Why you have to sit by me?
Yeah.
And they just flip out, and I was like, oh, Lord, now what I'm going to do? Because if he flip out on me, I'm going to flip out on him back.
I definitely feel like it needs to, even with that, like, they need to figure out a way to get these people the help that they need and get them in a place where they're off the street. Like, I know it's easier said than done, because it's kind of like with the homeless and things like that. It's, you can't really just take nobody hostage and stuff like that. But I definitely feel like when it comes to those type of people, there should be measures set up in place.
And see, I used to have a lady do me like that where I stayed at. Their kids know that their mom was,
mentally,
torturing me. And every time she seen me, she used to call me her sister's name. And when I looked, she holler off and was finna hit me. I was like, oh no, I'm not finna let her hit me now. So the police was like, well, if you hit her, you would have went to jail. So I was like, okay,
I'm going to jail.
The next time she tried to do that, I said, I'm gonna do something to her. So I haven't turned around and seen her reached her hand, and I was like, oh no, I sprayed her with the mace. And her children came to me and was like, yeah, you been wanting to do my mom. Like, okay, but you been knowing your mama been torturing me for a long time.
The lady was sick.
And y'all wouldn't say anything, and I kept being afraid because she used to carry a razor blade between her hand. And I was like, okay, we both finna play crazy. I'm finna play crazy on her because she playing crazy on me. So both of us finna go to the crazy house because she finna play crazy on me. She finna hit me.
But you know what's strange to me though? It's crazy how, well, not really crazy. It's strange. It's funny and it's sad at the same time to see people go through those episodes, because you probably very well reminded her of her sister, and maybe.
But if you seen her sister, her sister was real skinny.
Oh,
and
wow.
she was short.
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
I'm like, the difference between me and her. Then she used to holler about, you had your baby on my sofa. I was like, huh?
Oh yeah.
She said, yeah, you had a girl and I had a boy. I'm like, no, I didn't. And she said, my hair longer than yours. I got pretty hair too. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's so sad.
I think she
used to actually scare me.
Yeah, I can understand that, because when they be manic, it's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is your children gonna ever do something to her? You know, do something, say something to her, whatever. But when I did something to her, they tried to fight me.
Yeah.
So I had to tell the police. I said, well, she hit me, and then when I sprayed her, she was behind the corner saying Pearl. They didn't know her sister named Pearl. She didn't know that. They didn't know who she was talking about. So when they did realize who she was talking about, they come around my house talking about, yeah, you been wanting to spray my mama. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was afraid of your mama because I didn't know what your mama was
y'all
going to do.
need to get y'all mama on
I
her
had to play
meds.
crazy on your mama too.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think it's like,
Yeah.
even with what you just touched bases on, it's like, why do you think that? And I feel like this is mostly in our community, but why do you think that we are ashamed to be referenced or to have been diagnosed with some type of mental illness? I feel like at least 85% of us deals with some type of mental.
I would say 100% of us.
Yeah.
Mental illness.
Yeah.
And I always, when I have conversations about mental illness with people, I always say that everybody has that potential. It's just a matter of how strong you are. It's mind over matter. And some people can't contain it. And the least little thing will make you,
I think it comes from their child.
go overboard. And it could be genetics too.
Yeah.
It could run in the family. But most times it don't actually play out or get to a bad stage until something traumatic happen, like somebody die or you drink. Of course, you know you're not supposed to drink when you have, like, it's a chemical imbalance. People drink. People smoke weed overtaking their medication. And the weed don't help because the weed, people don't really know what's in it. Weed ain't like it was, I guess, back in the day when my mama and them was, so now it's not natural. So you still, you thinking that calm you down, but it don't. That don't calm you down. The alcohol don't calm you down. When you come out of it, you still the same way. And the longer you go, the more manic you become. But it's just it's mind over matter. It's mind over matter, because it can happen to all of us. Like, anybody can wake up and be, it's just a matter of,
sometimes come from their childhood or something that their family member did to them. Raped them.
They never talked about it.
So it's getting worse, and they reacting on it.
Yeah.
And by the way, 1 second, for all of my viewers out there, if you want to chime in on any of the topics or any of the conversations that we're having today, our call-in number is 470-251-4647. 470-251-4647. We'll be taking any questions, any
yeah, we would love to hear from you guys.
We would really love to hear from you, ATL. Yeah. Okay, so my next thing, what do you think about the? I don't necessarily want to call it a war on women, but it's almost like that. Like, what do you think of the rising violence against men on women? Like, what are your thoughts about that? Give
me an example,
I find that a lot of men are jumping on women, or like making women feel fearful to leave them, and they're not necessarily treating them in the best manner. Like, for instance, if you know that you are creating a toxic environment for this female, and so many different examples I could potentially go into, but I just toxic. You think of your everyday toxic man, and you think of a good wholesome woman. She comes in, she's sweet, and she's intertwined with this negativity, and in the course of that time, once she starts to realize that this negative energy is starting to corrupt her positive energy, and then she gets to a place where she wants to leave, then it's like, okay, well, now I want to kill you, or now I want to beat you. You get what I'm saying? Or just not even that, just the whole dynamics between your everyday relationships between a male and a female. It's like we live in a world where it's like you're supposed to fear it's like the male. I feel like a lot of males want the women to fear them instead of love them.
I think, Mom, you want to go first? You want to say?
Well, I used to always tell some of my friends, you can get out. Don't tell me about you scared or whatever, because it always a 911, or they can, have you hid or something. And some of my friends used to stay in the relationship, and when they used to come around my house, they'd be like, what happened to your face? Well, I said, well, you don't have to stay in that relationship. I said, because first of all, no woman, mother, parents brought them in this world for a man to be punching on them. And I used to always tell him, if he want to punch on somebody, he need to go to the gym and go find him a punching bag, because you not nobody's punching bag, and let no man to be sitting around him punching on you. And you always thought about he love you. He don't love you. If he loved you, he wouldn't be punching on you.
I'm glad you said that, because I hear a lot of girls. I couldn't even say women. Like I hear a lot of the young girls nowadays in referencing that. Oh yeah, he hit me because he loved me. You get what I'm saying? It's like how do you in reference someone beating you? You get what I'm saying? Almost to death, or like having you scared to maneuver around like a normal human being as love.
Me personally, I think it's a host of things, and with that being said, I kind of feel like you got two insecure people together. Both of them insecure in some type of way. He's insecure if he's beating on this woman for whatever reason, or making her feel less than. It's something going on within him. She's insecure if she's allowing it and she's staying. And you letting somebody tell you that you ain't gonna have nobody better than them, or if you leave me, you ain't gonna be with nobody. That type of stuff. I think it's just two insecure people. That's me, honestly. I can't really speak on it.
I can see that.
Yeah, because I never been in that situation, thankfully.
Well, I have.
Yeah, I got a mouth. I'm gonna say whatever. I probably not supposed to been popped in the mouth, but I'm real vocal. I'm gonna say what I feel.
As you should be able to, because it's like even with working on my anger, one thing that I had to learn is that it's okay for me to express myself.
It is.
And that's in any manner, as long as I know that I'm not intentionally trying to be disrespectful towards the other party. It's healthy. I'm learning that we as people, we don't have to necessarily agree. It's about the respect. And I feel like a lot of times in situations, that's where we go wrong. We're looking at, it's the principle. It's the respect. And we lose sight of that, through the egos and, the blaming and stuff like that. It's like, It's just respect at the end of the day.
And sometimes this something I taught myself in being married, as opposed to just dating or whatever. Like you can easily walk away. When you married, it's different. And like I said, I know sometimes I can be a little vocal in expressing myself. So sometimes at the moment, if the conversation is heated, I have learned to be quiet. I may not be able to say nothing today, because if it come out today, it's not going to be right. And I calm myself down, and then I can come back to it.
That's growth.
Later on or the next day. But that's something I had to teach myself.
Well, I make sure I try to find something. Look, going down in my guts and find it just to hurt him because he hurting me.
Yeah, well, that's natural
But
instinct.
now I'm trying to learn, not if I say something, just be quiet and humble myself and try to, sing something or put my mind somewhere. Just don't say nothing at that.
I feel like how
you know
she said
what?
that's something that is definitely, it's like homework. It's something
It
that
is,
you
but
have to
I'm
work.
gonna tell you this, and think
'Cause
about
it's
it
not
like
easy.
this: words hurt somebody more than
Yeah.
Oh,
you
I
actually
know.
touching them. So you gotta be careful with the stuff
I
you
had
say.
to realize
yeah.
that from a man, a male,
I
being
make
a
sure
male.
I go way down in your guts and try to say it up.
and that's the thing. If they bring a knife to the fight, you gonna bring a gun.
But
Why would you
something
bring a
speaking
knife?
for all the men, it's like, even though we come off so, so strong, it be those little things, like how you said, like you're gonna reach down there. It's like, as much as we want to try to act like those things don't really bother us, it's those things that it humbles us. It's those things that we don't want to hear. Like we'll poke and poke and poke and poke and poke, but the minute you come with the boom, it's like, oh no, why you go there? It's like a double standard.
Yeah.
It's like we don't mind, and I just ask for all the men out there, like, hey, why is it that we are like that? We don't mind throwing the big blows, but then when that big boom comes, it's like, oh, now you just went too far. It's
can't
like,
take
what,
it.
But see, they gotta realize, if you beating on somebody's daughter, and you have a daughter, you gotta realize you have a daughter too.
I agree.
So if you don't want nobody to beat on your daughter, don't beat on their daughter.
In the
'Cause they
words of the
feel
young
same
people, keep
way.
that same energy.
Yeah, and I feel like that
Keep
can
that
even go
same
as far as dating too as well. I feel like the reason why I'm able to know how to respect females and treat females is because my mom was real big on, how to have respect for women growing up. It's like there's a lot of stuff that most men or most boys my age do and act I won't do, just because, like, even if I'm mad, at a woman, I just, there's certain things I just would not do because of the simple fact it's like my natural instincts is to just respect her,
right.
like, I get upset, I'm not saying that, I'm not human. I get
Right.
upset, but my natural things with females is to treat them delicate. We treat them, like, with the utmost respect, treat them like ladies. You get what I'm saying? Because I was raised by a lady. So my whole thing, and then there's a difference, like, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of ladies, you get what I'm saying, and there's some,
Yeah.
and my thing to say this is, I was raised by a lady, so I don't attract, in the perfect world, once I'm pursuing, I wouldn't attract nothing less than
Than a
that.
lady,
Like, and
that's
when I
right.
say that, I feel like I have to go a little bit in depth. I mean, from the way that my mom dressed, my mom never dressed, provocative around us. I can't say that, oh yeah, my mom, she had clothes up her butt, like, or she had wore things up in her crotch, or she carried herself, and my mom always carried herself with
a
nothing,
lady.
like a lady everywhere we went, from coming up to the school. Even though a lot of times that she came up to the school because I was doing something bad, it was the reaction that I would get once she came up there. When my mom came up to the school, I was always a little scared, but I knew that she was gonna shut it down. I feel like that's the highlight of every memory that I've ever had. Getting a whooping from my mom in school. She was sharp. She's gonna come up there, red lipstick. You know, she's gonna come up there with her boots on. She might have on some leather pants. Like, but she's always like everybody, all the teachers in the hallways looking to see what my mom got on, because they know that even if it's 10 o'clock in the morning, she's coming up there. Yeah, she's coming up there sharp. You know,
even though you showing out on her, she could have came up there and
see,
showed out on you by looking crazy.
And when you have girls in the way, you have to dress appropriate, because if you don't, when your child grows up, she gonna figure like, okay, my mom dressed like that. Why I can't dress like that? And I never had disrespect my kids and wear just anything, because now if I wear something, my children be like, well, you somebody mama, you somebody grandmama, you don't supposed to wear that. And I respect that. So when I go around them, I wear stuff appropriate where they wear, even though I'm grown, but I wear stuff appropriate where they are like, okay, mama, that look good.
Right, exactly.
Some of these women around here,
and then I feel
awful.
like even, I'm glad that you touched bases on that, even like with the hairstyles. It's like, you remember when little girls had little girls hairstyles, the beads, the bows.
Now they in 5th grade with full sew-ins and quick weaves and lace fronts. It's terrible.
Oh no! Did you see?
Weave in her head
I meant to send you the video.
Said, no, I don't want no weave in my head.
Did you see the video of the little girl? I meant to send you
Right.
the video of the little girl for a graduation picture. They put her on a full set of lashes. Yeah, I gotta send you the video. I seen it on Instagram earlier today. That she had a full set of lashes on.
I wanted to bring this up since we touching on the dress code and that type of thing, and the whole. Let's talk about the incident that happened at the school
with the teacher.
With the teacher and the student.
I'm glad that you brought it, because
That
I
is
totally
so
forgot.
sad.
Yes. Now, in the teacher defense, because I watched the video like 2 or 3 times, and I don't know what happened prior. I don't think the teacher was wrong.
I don't think she's wrong.
Now, was the teacher wrong for the way she came to school? Yes, she was, because you know that you are working with teenagers and you don't know what kind of day that's gonna be.
And they show disrespect for these days.
Yeah, so you should always be fully covered. It's no reason that we should have got a full moon on that
First
video.
off, I don't think, and once again, this goes. I'm a male speaking. No,
that was the teacher.
The teacher, first off, in my opinion, the teacher's dressed. And I'm not saying like to shout out to all my BBWs, but
it was too short.
It was too short for her size. It was just too short.
It was too short for school.
The only reason why I say that is because even with that, whether she was skinny or not, even with that, it's like, you know the circumference of your body. So she know with her body figure, she has a nice figure. So that's why I had to just throw that out. She knew that with that dress, it was gonna lift up. It was gonna lift up. There's no way that you could have she could have bent over and it would have lifted up.
She could have squatted and it was gonna lift. It was a cheerleader skirt.
I see some alpha teachers.
And when I seen her with the it was kind of like that. Yeah, the top. It was like one of those, I think, wrap around
black side or something.
Yeah. You teaching the kids? What is you doing?
My issue with that. Now let's back up a little bit. My issue with that is, I did not like how the girl invaded her personal space. I'm not saying, once again, I'm not perfect. I've had plenty of incidents. My mom could tell you this. I've had plenty of incidents.
Call in if they want to.
And for anybody that would like to call in for this particular subject, our number is 470-251-4647. So, with this particular subject though, when I was growing up, I used to physically have teachers like to put their hand on me. Now my only thing was this: I don't like no one yanking on my clothes.
Right.
So it's like just off of knee-jerk reaction, I jerk away. But I was never one to, I'm going to hit this because I know my mama didn't play that. Now, my thing is with this particular situation, she totally got in the lady's space. Like I've had my phone taken at least once or twice, and I know that even if I went to try to want to be grown about the situation, it's still going to end badly because my mom, first thing that's going to come out of my mom's mouth is, Who asked you to do that? You get what I'm? Why was you playing on your phone
Why
in
was
the
you
first
on your
place?
phone and you supposed to be in here learning?
So my thing with that is, I definitely think that the young lady was wrong. You know, she totally violated the space, and I feel like the teacher was totally right. I feel like if you discipline your children at home, there's no reason she should have went to school and thought that it was acceptable to raise her hand, like without being provoked in any type of way. You raise your hand and you try to slap this lady like that. So I feel like she had every reason to defend herself. My thing with that is, I have a problem with the fact that the teacher, for the remaining of the school year, she has to go without pay. They already don't pay teachers enough as it is to go through what they have to go through. And she was a sub, but even with that, that goes back to the point that I was saying. She still has bills to pay, and it's like, because your kid, who you supposed to be showing home training to and maintaining and making sure that they go to school to go get their education, because I feel like a lot of the time the parents nowadays, they're blaming the teachers, like, well, why you not doing your job? But you had these children. So it's like, even though they're with these teachers a lot of the day, they're with you a fairly amount of time throughout the year because they stay at home with you. So they still have your example to look up to.
And on the flip side, you make a very good point, but on the flip side, you also have those students that know their parents will mess them up, but they still go to school and do crazy stuff because you trying to be, you trying to prove a point to the other kids. You know you don't even come from that. Your mama don't know you at the people's school acting like that. So we don't know the parent side of the story to this child.
And parent, if you are out there watching, feel free to call in. We would even welcome you to come up, because we just want to try to get an understanding, create a dialogue,
Well, I used to work at Anthony's school because Anthony was acting up, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm work at the school. So they know when they see Anthony's mother, they know Anthony's mother still pray, because he gets a whooping in front of the teacher. And the teacher used to always tell me, well, you can't whoop him in front of me because I get in trouble. I said, well, first of all, what did he do what he did? She said, in front of me. I said, well, that's where he finna get a whooping at. I said, I understand you're going to get in trouble, but I'm letting you know that I don't play.
And that's, and that's what it need to go back to. I can remember one time my mama coming to the school and tearing me up. I was in the 6th grade. I'll never forget it. And I told the teacher said I kicked her. And I didn't kick her.
That sounds so familiar. I've had a situation.
My mama worked at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead. I went to Sylvan Middle School. My mama didn't drive, so she had to get off work, catch the bus. So she already 38 hot. My mama catch the bus. Not only did she catch the bus, she borrowed the MARTA bus driver's belt. And you know what the MARTA bus driver belt looked like. Baby, my mama tore my SSA up. Do you hear me?
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like mama.
Yeah, and I always joke with my mama about this, and I always be like, I didn't kick that lady, but if I see her to this day, I'm gonna kick her.
That's how I felt about my principal. I kicked at her.
Teacher told
no, I'm not gonna lie. I kicked her when she turned her back. And her head was turned in the other way. I don't know how. It's like the lady had eyes on the back of her head. I kicked at her. Maybe she felt the wind or whatever. She was like, did you just try to kick me? I said, no. I sat back down real quick. She was like, you did just try to kick at me. She was like, I'm going to tell your mom, and you can't come back without her. Oh, my mom was so upset about that.
Then plus he came home with a...
Sure. They used to whoop us in the hand with a ruler.
Me that I went up to the school.
And one particular day, she got upset. And I think her ruler was broke. So one particular day, she got upset, and she was wrapping up this extension cord. So she was like, "Come in." She was like, "Burn your hand here," So she would have us, So of course, one of them times when she went to hit me, I jerked back. So the cord came loose, And this time she swiped me across my face with it. Like, she intentionally, I'm telling you, she intentionally did this. And that particular time I did hit her back. I cold cocked her. I hit her back. You get what I'm saying? We had a little tussle for a minute, but I'm like, you deliberately just I had a whip. Like a big old whip going across my face. It was so crazy. And she denied it when my mom came up there. It's like she had the students lie and say that she didn't do it. But after my mom got out of the meeting, all the children, because they knew my mom,
right?
They went, hey, Miss Mom, yeah, she did do that. She did do that. And, it was over then, But my mom, she definitely was upset about that.
Especially when I used to come to the school, they said, Anthony, he on your mama.
Everybody
used
knew
to
my
always
mom.
tell teacher. So tell my mama I don't care.
Yeah, that was my favorite line.
So
that was
tell
just
my
my
mama I
favorite
don't
line.
care. So I tell him stand right there. You be standing right there, teacher. You be talking. I said put your hand down, cause he already know I'm finna slap him. I said put your hand down. Do like that. I said put your hand down. Put your hand down. Just walk.
Those are the times
backhand
where you
slap.
like. I just wish I had one of those mamas that's just like, I just know she ain't coming up here. She ain't gonna do nothing.
But ain't you glad you had the mama that did
looking at it now,
come?
I am.
Because
Yes.
it was like we was like that.
Yes.
At the time when we was
Yeah,
going
I
to school,
do.
the teacher can whoop us. And my mom
Me
gave
too.
them a permission to whoop us. But now these days, the teacher can't whoop the kids. That's what we need now.
We need to go back to the basics, because I remember one teacher make you hold your hand out like
Yep.
that, and she had that big hard paddle, the thick one like they use the fraternities use.
That's what she.
And that lady,
That's what I used to
She
whoop them
literally
with.
used to
Oh,
whoop us with
yes.
I went and
that.
bought
When
me
we
one
got in middle
personally.
school, she upgraded. That was all. Those was
Yeah,
our
I went and bought me
upgrades, yes.
one personally
We literally
from
used
the
to have
West
to bend
End when they
over.
was selling them at the
Yeah.
West End. I
Like
went
we
and
was in a
bought me one
fraternity, and she
personally.
would make us bend over just like that.
yeah,
Shit.
she smacked. Yes.
Oh my God. Those
Yes.
were the worst whippings.
And the way these children disrespectful these days, and
They
then the
need
parents
it.
They
come
need
up there
that.
with they Alice
Yes.
say, "Oh no, I'm not finna listen. I'm not finna just say, well, my child say you did this. No, I know my child."
Didn't I
one thing
tell you
think
that
about.
last
Well, that's
week?
one thing I
'Cause you-
think about. I think my mom, because it's like my mom, she's not gonna let you accuse me of things that she know that I did not do.
Right, but she also
But
know
at
what
the same time, she do know, and a lot of times with certain things that she just give me this look. It's this look that y'all get. Like I know you did that. I know you did that before you even lied. You get what I'm saying? But I'm thankful that I had that, because
Yeah.
even as an adult, I be wanting to do certain things, but I still have that inner child in me that's like, no, like
I know that ain't right.
I just know
but see,
that's
that's
not
how
right.
it's supposed to be. Like with my son, it was the same way. That's why I was telling you, like certain stuff the teacher can say, and I be like, I know he did it. The teacher called me and she'd say, I'm standing here and I'm talking to Jabril and he won't say nothing. He's just standing here looking at me like I ain't talking. I said, are you talking to him the way you telling it to me? I'm trying to get him. I said, he not going to talk to you. One thing about my son, if you holler at him or something like that, he will shut completely down. Like you got to go at him in a tone. And that's only right. Like what you're doing is disrespectful. But I do understand your stance. Like talk to me like I'm a person. And I'm going to respond to you like I'm a person. But if you hollering at me, I'm going to look at you like you foolish. Because at this point, you are. So, yeah, like, you know what your child will do, and you know what your child won't do.
For me, it was always the pulling. Like, just don't rip on my clothes.
Right.
You know,
Don't
like
let
my
him
mama.
have on no new clothes.
Yeah, and a
you
lot
pull
of
on
times
his
that's when it would
clothes.
happen.
Oh, he would tell you, don't put your
Like,
hand
I
on my
just,
clothes.
like, literally,
and
I
when
let
she
up.
told me that, I was like, yeah, he did tell you that because I know that's what he'll do.
Yeah.
And especially if he go to school and he got on new clothes and you pull on his clothes, oh, he would nut up.
I'm still like that. very
But
much
when
to
you
this
think
day.
about it, it ain't wrong. It's the fact that it's an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And like I used to always tell my kids, no, adults aren't always right.
Mm-hmm.
Parents aren't always right. But it's how you handle the situation. It's how you know, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with anything. Like parents can always learn something new too.
Yeah.
So we ain't always right.
I feel like, and I'm glad that you touched bases on that right now. I feel like I'm having to learn that. You know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people my age, in my age bracket or younger, can understand what I'm about to say with this next point. A lot of times, or my brother too as well, I'm gonna throw us both up on the bus, get upset because we expect we be expecting our mom to know a lot of stuff, but I feel like we have to take in accountability that even with us, everybody has to learn. Every day is a learning aspect, and with everything getting so advanced and stuff like that, like
my
yeah,
son
like
get
yeah,
mad
they
if I
are
don't
like
know
yeah,
how to
we
work
we,
the
we
TV.
do
He
have to
gets mad
educate
at me,
that.
and
You
I'm
get what I'm
like,
saying? And
I don't know how to
yeah.
work the TV.
Right.
Because I get like that.
So
Sometimes
why
she'll
she
ask
get
me
mad
such
at
stuff, but then
me?
I have to understand.
And then him with the telephone,
that-
he gets mad because I don't know how to work the
I have to
telephone.
understand that there are gonna, even though I do research a lot of stuff, because that's what she pushed me to do, growing up. But it's like I have to take in accountability too. Things are different from when y'all was coming up to now and how it is. Just even as far as like what they're teaching us, what they taught us in school.
Right.
The books, the computers, the phone. Everything is so
And
much more
bottom line
advanced.
is, that's what we had y'all for.
Yeah, and I have to look at that too. Like at some point I'm gonna be y'all age.
Yeah,
We're gonna
and
be
somebody
y'all age,
gonna
and
have to
somebody
help
gonna have
you.
to teach us, because things are just gonna keep getting more advanced. But that's why I train myself now to just
I'm still teaching my mama how to work Facebook. She'll see something on her page. It could be you, her friend, and you made a post, and she'll say you put it on her page. Did you see what he put on my page? I say, Mom, that's not on your page. You on the thread. You on the news feed.
That's how it be.
So
It'd be funny. It'd be funny
Yes.
teaching them.
I'm like, girl, get off Facebook because you ain't.
Yeah, that's how it was when my mom first got on Facebook. Like, I absolutely will not introduce her to Instagram at all, because it's a whole nother different realm. I'm like, I would rather you just. I would just rather her stick with Facebook, because Instagram. I'm like, now Instagram would be a whole nother level for her.
Right.
She would be like, well, how you do this and how you do that? You get what I'm saying? Oh, such and such did this and this. It just blow her mind. It'd just be like a whole 3.0 type of situation for her. But moving on to my next thing. Let's see. Where do I want to go next, ladies? I want to talk about. I got you. I want to talk about. I want to go back to the relationship topic a little bit.
Okay.
Between men and women. I feel like nowadays it's such a division between the wanting to be. I feel like we're lacking guys wanting to be just regular nice guys, just a regular 9 to 5. And when I say 9 to 5, I don't necessarily mean having to work at someone's job. I just mean a regular dude. Like a regular nice guy. Is like we live in a world where you either, excuse my French, you either have to be this boss. You got to be this boss ass nigga, or you want to be this boss ass bitch. It's like we don't live in a world where people want to be real women and real men at the end of the day, if that kind of makes sense to you. It's like we all want to have this bigger title than just being a good guy or a good woman. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things that's corrupting relationships to this day. Is we're living in a day and age where all the women, the younger girls, the younger versions of the women that are growing in process, they're so caught up in the Hollywood women, and how they're having these lavish weddings, and they're breaking up, and they're taking this man for this, or they're with these men, the man buying them trucks and cars and stuff like that, when it's like we've grown past the reality of what real love is. Like,
I think that that dang, I forgot what I was about to say. I think that actually it's social media. I think, for one, because everybody is looking at what the next person is doing. when in actuality you can post to be anybody, and that's not who you are in real life.
I feel like that was one of my biggest things about even wanting to. I've never been like the type to want an online date. I've always been against that. Like, I'd rather meet people organically, because even back in my teenage years, like when the whole online dating thing became big, I never really was big on that, because I literally believe that people can pretend to be. And then with the whole catfishing thing, we live in a world where people are literally pretending to be more than what they really are.
But think about it like this. Like, I have never online dated, but I don't see an issue with somebody online dating. But I mean, as long as you gonna meet this person in real life. Because think about you meeting somebody at the gas station. Think about you walking out this door and you meet somebody. You still meeting a representative. You got to go out with them. You got to communicate with them. You got to be around them. And eventually, the representative going to fall off if it's a representative. And what I mean when I say that is that fake person. You going to eventually get the real person the more you... But just online dating and like never seeing somebody and talking to them on FaceTime, but they don't turn their phone on, that type of stuff. Now that's the catfish stuff to me. But I don't see a problem with somebody online dating. Some people do it and it work, because you gonna have to learn that person anyway, no matter where you meet them at.
These days, I be scared of anybody say something to me.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. It's definitely a different time.
Because you don't know whether or not you mean a serial killer, somebody's going to sex traffic you. And even with that, like the rise, I kind of wanted to get into that real quick too, like the rise of sex trafficking, which they don't talk about it a lot here. Much on the mainstream media and stuff like that, but
it's big.
It's a lot of sex trafficking going on here, and a lot of women, especially, are coming up missing on a daily basis. Like, if you turn on your TV, if you're aware of what's going on in the world, we're not only losing a lot of black men, and that's due to gun violence, but we're also equally losing just as much women, black, brown, Hispanic, Mexican. We're losing a lot of women, and they're not covering this. And like, please protect your mothers, protect your daughters, your sisters. Keep close tabs on them, because it's crazy out there. If you see anything that's not right, report it to somebody. Ladies keeping some mace and stuff up on you.
When I'm by myself,
just watch out, because it's crazy out there.
I be like, this man just keep following me. I don't know why he keep following me. And I be talking to my husband. I say, "Oh, this man just keep following me." I said, "Why is he following me?" I said, "Oh, I'm finna get out this phone."
Then the craziest thing about that, like you just said, we live in a day and age too of those air tags. You got to be real careful about them guys. They put the little air tags on your car, and they can track where you are, and they can pull up on you wherever you at. Yeah, that's how a lot of guys are getting robbed. That's how they stealing a lot of cars nowadays. They and beware on that.
I ain't know that about no air tags.
Like, car theft is on the rise due to the air tags and stuff like that. So just monitor your car. I
think they should ban them.
I do too, because the fact that you could literally just place this small device anywhere on my car, and I'm not getting under the hood I don't every know. Time. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like a bomb. It's like someone secretly putting a bomb under your car, and you just not knowing. And then you just, like, every time I go out, I gotta look up under this car. It's like, no, who wants to live like that?
And then that'll become a setup, because while you checking for air tags, then here goes somebody catch you slipping. So that's something to think about too. I was looking at this TikTok the day before yesterday, and this lady said that she was in the mall, and she walked past this man and this young girl, and she said it was just something about the way the young girl was looking that kind of alarmed her. So she said she walked back past and she looked at her, and she said the young girl did like that, and so she said she looked at her, and the man dropped something, and she said, "Are you sure?" And she said again. So she said she went to the nearest store and told the people that something was going on and she needed some help. And she was a stud, so she was like, she had already made up in her mind that if the people didn't come help her, that she was gonna take the man down by herself because she take karate or something. She was making a joke about that part, and she said that the two men came with her, grabbed the man, and she got the girl. And the girl said the man had kidnapped her and brought her from like California to, I can't remember what it was, but a whole nother state. So I said all this to say that the lady was saying, like, if a woman is in distress and she needs some help, this is a signal. Like, fold your hand and then fold it down, and that's a signal to let somebody know that you need some help.
I feel like also too as well, Apple is doing a lot for a situation like if you're in car accidents and stuff like that. I feel like even with other phones, I feel like they should create some type of device or like an app or something for women, so if they are in situations where they feel unsafe, they can press a button or or something, an alert.
Yeah, Apple definitely have something like that. And like I always tell people, get you a password, something easy. If you feel like you in a situation, how you were saying, this man following me,
she calls
and
me.
that kind of alarm, you can have something in your phone that you could just press, and this man ain't gotta know you done said something, but
and it shows your location.
And it show your location.
All that,
Always share your location, and they know exactly, where you at, to be able to, get to you or assist in worst case scenario.
That's why I told my son when he's doing his delivery or something, I be on the phone with him, and he used to get mad when I used to be asking him where he at. So I guess when he had the accident, he found out, now I tell my mom where I'm at.
Yeah, because I'm not being in your business. I just want to make sure you good, because I do that to my son. My son just got a new phone, and I looked on the thing, and I'm like, I don't see you on the 360 no more. Did you just get a new phone? He's like, yeah, I had to upgrade my phone. I said, well, you need to put yourself back on this 360 so I can see you. Because that's
crazy
kind of a relief for me, because for our boys, it's like the world don't play fair when it comes to you.
Trust me, and with
boys.
all the stuff that's going on nowadays, I get it. I be now. Granted, I do, because it's like it's not even just her. I get offended, and I get upset when anybody asks me where I'm at, what I'm doing. It's just a thing. But I'm learning to get past that, because it's like, yes, even though God has been with me through a lot of the stuff I've been through, the world is getting crazier.
It is.
And I'm gonna need like a little extra. Okay, looks like we got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take this real quick. This your boy Ant. You're now kicking it in the A with Notorious K and Sean Denise. Caller. Hello?
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 Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm finding yourself?
I'm doing great.
Yes. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Notorious K.
Oh, hi, this is your cousin. I want to come in on your live, but I don't know how.
Oh, this go to the what you wanted to comment on the comment section?
What? Oh yeah, I'm already there.
Oh, I was trying to say, well, if you want to comment, if you want to drop a comment,
We're
live right now.
I know, but I see you live. I see you, your mama just drop a comment, but I don't see it. Hi, Mona, how are you?
Hi, Marquez. How you doing today?
I'm super fantastic. Thanks for asking.
I appreciate you for calling in. I'm glad to hear your voice. How you been?
Oh, I'm super. Thanks for asking. The last comment I wanted to say was about the kids in school fighting.
Okay.
That lady, she was very wrong, because she know that her skirt, they see. But the little girl, she was wrong for going in the lady's face. And back to what she was saying about all these fighting in school. It's the way that you raise your kids.
Yeah.
You can raise your kids a certain way. But if you raise them that certain way, that means when they go to school, they don't have to act that certain way. They still can act that. It's something to do with the school.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that.
Because you can raise them just to be just as quiet. And time they get around their homeboy, homegirl, they
I agree.
the shit come right on out.
I agree.
So
Yeah,
true.
the peer pressure and the influence. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
It's the
The need to be accepted.
Mom and it's the mother trying to be their friend
Yeah.
instead of their mom.
Yep.
Yep.
And we just talked
You right
about
about
that.
that.
Yep. I do
Because
appreciate.
how the hell you gonna carry me for 9 months trying to be my friend instead of being my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
It's
right.
I agree
impossible.
with you on that.
I mean that right.
It's a
there,
limit.
Right. That right there, that does something to my spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
definitely
feel you
agree.
on that, cuz.
First of all, you can beat, like you said, my mom and my grandma used to beat the hell out of me with slats and tennis and rock.
Yeah. Yep.
My grandma used to beat me with slats and tennis and my mama can tell you, I used
Yeah.
to get beat with tennis and rock.
Yeah. We come from a family of discipline, so yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm like, I just think it's crazy how these kids is, but
Right, but I know how to treat a lady until a certain extent. Now, excuse my language. Now, if a bitch get out of line with me, I'm gonna check that bitch.
And it's a difference.
Yeah, you right.
It's a difference.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
You right.
I agree with you on that, cuz.
You right, Marquez.
Look, cuz, okay, so look, real quick, we got 3 more minutes left. I gotta go ahead and I gotta wrap it up real quick, but I thank you for calling in.
Tune in next week. We like you, cousin.
Tune in next time. We like
Hold on,
you,
we talk-
cousin.
I gotta wrap it up real quick.
You hear me?
Oh, it moves slow.
Tune in next week. We like you, cousin. Thank you so very much. You guys have a blessed day. I have to go to work now. It's time for me to get this going.
All right,
All
cuz.
right. Love you.
Love you.
All right, love you too, Mona. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you guys. Bye.
Okay, as we wrap it up, y'all, this has been a great show. Thank
Let
you
me
guys.
get him
Ooh.
a place to check out for the week since we missed a couple
Restaurant
of
of
weeks.
the
Restaurant of the
Okay.
week.
What's our restaurant of the week with TC?
Restaurant of the week is the Vault, located inside of the bank on Donnelly Howell Parkway.
I seen
If
went
you
there.
get a chance, be sure to check it out. I promise you will not be disappointed. Don't let Bankhead fool you. Bankhead is moving in the way of Buckhead. It's very, very, very nice. Check it out. The food is awesome. The drinks were great. They have hookahs, and the bank side turns into a club at a certain time, I think. At least it did last week when we were there. So if you get a chance, check it out.
Okay, so my birthday is on the 8th, is in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We need to check some place out.
Let me know.
If you take me to one of your nice little spots, just pick it out for me. You get what I'm saying, and I'm gonna show up. I'm look good,
Okay.
and I'm gonna show up.
Okay.
I'm off on that Monday and stuff. But as I said, you guys, we will catch you next week. I appreciate you guys for coming to kick it with us in the A. Peace out. This was great.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In a glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Kicking it with Notorious K.